Have you seen a frog eating a duck previously? Imagine a scenario where I let you know there's a frog that has snakes for lunch. When you consider a frog, you think about them just as a prey for snakes and different creatures, isn't that so? In any case, stand by before you arrive at a resolution on the grounds that these creatures of land and water can be savage and turn the table whenever. From ambushing their prey to casting them down without going even close to the person in question, frogs have vast strategies to nail a chase. In the present video, we will show you 15 attacks when frog kill their adversaries. Like a boss, let's get started. Number 15, Bullfrog. Bullfrog assault snake. Frogs are so much of the time chased somewhere around snakes that they can be effectively considered one of their number one dinners. To exacerbate the situation, at whatever point bullfrogs wind up in any place of going after these slithery reptiles, they make the effort right away. In this clasp, a bullfrog strikes down a snake. The land and water proficient chomps down the midsection of its prey, permitting the snake to make a wide range of endeavors to attempt to escape with no conceivable result. The casualty wriggles continually to free itself, yet the bullfrog ignores and takes as much time as necessary in partaking in the tasty dinner. A concise battle among the grasses shows a battle between a snake and a little frog that has been caught partially through this fight for endurance. A bullfrog steps in and brings down the frog and the snake in a solitary chomp. The snake tries to move away, however the frog maneuvers the reptile into the water. The battle goes on for a couple of emotional minutes before the snake at last prevails with regards to breaking free, simply just under the wire from its horrible assailant. This bullfrog, not entirely settled to grab a Thai snake, and, surprisingly, however the water is causing a significant interruption, the frog keeps up with its emphasis on the objective. The bullfrog makes lively development and flips to keep the snake from folding over it. At the point when the assailant ends briefly, we see the minuscule essence of the snake jutting from the surface while the remainder of its body is now inside the frog's mouth. Number 14, Frog attacks bird. Despite the fact that there is a diminishing chance that a frog might at any point chase down a bird, the sky is the limit. In nature, frogs assault birds in their most unanticipated second, or hold back nothing ones for an affirmed kill. Here, a frog is following a duckling in the water opening. Despite the fact that it remains nearby the bird up and down, the frog figures out how to keep itself very much covered up. The frog establishes an unexpected assault. Furthermore, serious battle follows as the two opponents battle it out in the water. In the long run the bird is crushed and becomes lethargic. One more clasp shows a frog that has figured out how to stifle a bird in the shallows. It rapidly suffocates the casualty to hinder any possibility getting away. The frog is obviously battling with the kill, attempting to sort out a method for eating up it. Number 13, Frog attacks beetle. A frog and a creepy crawly. Conflict can be exceptionally flighty, and things can get ugly right away. Frogs blossom with bugs. Furthermore, at whatever point they spot a creepy crawly around their environment, they creatures of land and water grab them to satisfy their craving. Following quite a while of hibernation, this bullfrog is out on a chase and prepared to bring down anything that comes into notice. The waste insects prowling close by are the best food hotspot until further notice, and the frog is all available. It brings down consistently with no counter from the opposite end. Indeed, even before the majority of them can make a getaway, the frog stands out gluey tongue and sticks them. Number 12, Frog attacks centipede. Centipedes are predatory and venomous themselves, equipped for hunting prey a lot bigger than them. Their toxin make a serious danger to their rival. Be that as it may, a destitute frog energetically faces this challenge, and even figures out how to nail the chase without a second thought. This land and water proficient attacks a centipede the second it goes under its radar. The assailant clenches down a significant piece of the centipede, and each time the casualty attempts to creep up and incurs some sort of harm, the frog captures it to the ground. With thorough development of the appendages, the centipede battles to acquire a high ground in the fight, and the toughness of the frog goes about as a safeguard against the venomous centipede. With least exertion, the frog obliterates the competitor, leaving no indication of presence. This frog stretches out its tacky tongue to catch a centipede slithering a good ways off. When the tongue slaps against the person in question, the prey stalls out and the frog folds it straight into its mouth. The entire situation occurs in a brief moment. Number 11, Frog attacks mouse. Mice are smart animals that are consistently ready in regards to their environmental factors due to the sheer number of hunters around them. In spite of such cautiousness and solid detects, these rodents frequently neglect to avoid an unavoidable frog assault. This Pac-Man frog is fascinated with the plum prey directly before it. The frog is engaged and positions itself to guarantee that it commits no error while hunting. Subsequent to noticing the mouse for a couple of moments, the land and water proficient strikes. At the point when the mouse encounters it, before the prey could effectively get away or deflect the assault, it was stuck to the tacky tongue of its hunter and moved into its mouth. The mouse makes a weak endeavor to push back, however the assailant keeps on gulping down the entire thing until there is no indication of the rat, with the exception of a minuscule part of its tail hanging from the mouth of its hunter. Here, a bullfrog incautiously chooses to pursue the mouse meandering close by. The rodent gives little consideration to its jumping stalker at first, and puts forth no attempt to get away or stay away from it. Exploiting what is happening, the frog paces up and snatches the walking mouse by its tail. The shocked prey promptly attempts to fight back, yet neglects to have any effect. The bullfrog fastens down the lower end of the mouse and all the battle makes serious wounds the prey, with blood overflowing out from the fresh injuries. After an extreme and merciless gore, the well-known frog settles to eat up the whole mouse, inside within a couple of seconds. Number 10. Frog attacks caterpillar. Despite the fact that chasing down butterflies and moths can be tiring, caterpillars make a more practical dinner to the frogs. They frequently go over these creatures of land and water. Furthermore, the vast majority of those experiences become lethal for the caterpillars. This frog has gotten itself a monster caterpillar for lunch, and, surprisingly, however the casualty barely squeezes into its mouth, the not entirely settled to gobble up it. The caterpillar shows up and squirms tenaciously, however nothing supports unclasping the mouth of the frog. Things without a doubt aren't looking generally excellent for the caterpillar. As the caterpillar attempts to swim by a frog staying out of other people's affairs, the frog makes a move to go after the animal. With one quick action of the tongue, the caterpillar is sucked in and there is no follow. Number 9. Frog attacks butterfly. Anything with wings is prepared for evading attack, even totally dry on time. Butterflies most of the time visit the greens to find food, and, generally speaking, there's a chance of involvement between the butterflies and the frogs. In any case, a piece of those encounters can be the continue onward for the butterflies. A great deal of butterflies are gathering over some bloom lays out right near a drowsy streaming stream, a stream that is attacked with frogs. Careless of this reality, the butterflies are busy with avoiding others' issues, and fail to see a gathering of hazardous frogs encompassing the brambles. They collect underneath and hold on while coming full circle their point before the attack. At whatever point everything is settled, one of them hops up, and cuts down a butterfly with a lone hit. It comes crashing down through the branches and eats down the whole pursue landing. A bullfrog sees a get-together of butterflies stays still to remain undetected. Flawlessly and faultless expertise, the frog hops in like a sprinkle of lightning, strikes one of the butterflies with its sticky tongue, and rushes away. Number 8. Frog attacks dragonfly. Dragonflies are incredibly lithe and can quickly take a different path mid-air, which makes them a troublesome catch, yet the frogs realize how it's finished. The frogs must be fast, and guide the ideal chance to jump at their prey, and legitimate use of their extended tongue becomes basic. In such chases, a decided frog is determinedly attempting to get dragonflies. However, every time the land and water proficient jumps at the people in question, they get away from by a couple inches. In any case, the frog is steady and gives no indication of surrendering. Lastly, after various disappointments, it dispatches itself towards a careless dragonfly situated on a bloom and brings it down inside a negligible part of a second. This frog is on a comparative mission of chasing down the dragonfly and countenances disappointments with each attempt. The dragonfly is quick to identify the approaching danger and vanish before the long wiggly tongue can append itself to it. Indeed, even in the wake of attempting from various points and places, the frog neglects to make a hit until it goes out on a limb and nails the chase. Number 7. Frog attacks scorpion. Scorpions need no presentation with respect to their risky stinger. Also, dangerous pliers that are fit for incurring serious and grave wounds to anybody that compromises it. In spite of the relative multitude of safeguards and weapons, scorpions get outfoxed by frogs now and again, winding up as their feast. A scorpion prowling in the grasses is gone after by a bullfrog. The paralyzed casualty gets no opportunity to shield itself as the land and water proficient conveys it to a close-by puddle, trailed by another frog. The two opponents pull the closures of the hostage and battle wildly until one of them figures out how to guarantee the award and positions itself on top of the other, conceivably to guarantee there could be no further assault. When the scores are settled. Number 6. Frog attacks wasp. Separated from hunting, frogs face everyday conflicts to make do out in nature. Wasps are subtle bugs that are continuously searching for the simplest food sources close by, and in some cases this prompts a showdown among them and the frogs. A gushing dad frog is endowed with the obligation of protecting bunches of frog eggs. A portion of the eggs are as of late laid while some are practically nearly bring forth. The male requirements to remain vigil and mindful to shield the valuable posterity from plausible dangers. Like a wasp, this horrible guest has just a single reason: to obliterate the weak eggs. The frog permits the wasp to gobble up a bundle in light of the fact that a battle would take a chance with the endurance of the others too. At the point when the wasp comes in for the subsequent round, the dad frog chooses to stop it. It monitors the eggs and kicks the wasp. persistently driving the gatecrasher to tap out and let the eggs be. 2 frogs are laying an ideal mask against the sloppy background, standing by without complaining for the drifting wasps to settle close by. The second they have one and going after range, the frog shoots out their tongue and come in, their prey bringing down various in a solitary hunting binge. Number 5, frog attacks slug. Indeed, even the most deft and dynamic trackers lean toward a competitor that doesn't set up a broad battle. Slugs are an ideal counterpart for such circumstances, and frogs never lose an opportunity to demonstrate their predominance. On such events, the prey and the hunter are shockingly close and the slug is in no situation to ease off or turn away the approaching risk. Unavoidably, the frog strikes and chases down the slug. For its lunch, after a broad and rather off-kilter gaze intently at, the frog goes crazy and bumps the slug to throw it sideways. In any case, the frog shows no interest in killing or gobbling up the animal. Number 4, frog attacks mantis. Mantises are incredibly gifted hunters and adequately effective to bring down rivals substantially more horrible and risky than them. There have been situations where mantises have been seen benefiting from frogs also, yet at times the hunter can become prey itself. The supplicating mantis is out staying out of other people's affairs. At the point when a frog follows its path, the mantis doesn't appear to be made a fuss over its stalker, and starts to climb a wall when the frog unfurls its tongue to suck the mantis in its vast mouth. The prey in any case, won't go down easily. The mantis attempts to hold off the aggressor and free itself from the grip, however flops wretchedly. The frog savors on the mantis subsequent to winning the battle against it. Number 3, frog attacks cricket. Crickets may be a moving prey to get out in the wild, yet when kept in closeness in a walled-in area, the crickets have no way out course and become a simple feast for the frogs. A frog remains to some extent concealed while noticing a cricket, doing its rounds and examining the nook. The assailant remains totally still to remain undetected in light of the fact that any kind of aggravation will alarm the bug when the cricket comes around at the subsequent time. The frog bolts towards it and clenches down the cricket effortlessly. In a comparable situation, a warped caught in a walled-in area with a tree frog faces a similar disastrous destruction when the tree frog spots it meandering around and jumps towards it to move it in and eat down the entire bug in a matter of seconds. Children would seem to be. Meet the Siberian musk deer. Despite the fact. Number 2, frog versus cat. Felines are a lot of bigger number of times bigger than the frogs, and in any event, endeavoring such a chase is silly, yet the creatures of land and water actually figured out how to threaten the cats on specific events. This frog is noticeably annoyed with the feline polishing off the entire dinner without anyone else and interferes with the cat's lunch by charging at it. The feline is obviously frightened of the interloper and clears the coast for the frog. Number 1, bullfrog versus bullfrog. Being the erratic and awful aggressor as they are, frogs can be forceful towards each other too. This prompts furious battles between the opponents and the local area. An extreme battle breaks out in the bullfrog local area where the guys are battling to take the focal point of the lake to draw in females for mating. To show their power and predominance, the plants take on a severe conflict until one of them guarantees the spot. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, so YouTube will recommend this video to other viewers. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Hi, my name is Alair704, so if you want to know about me, I let the beat bang twana, that's my story. I'm sorry.